right, 99.9 Punk World Radio FM. You guys already know what time it is. And right here, we are live on the air. And tonight, we actually have Bloomfield, New Jersey's own. That's right, we got New Jersey's finest up in the Canadian airwaves. We got Boy Blue right here, right now, live on YouTube, Facebook, and all social media platforms. How are you guys doing out there in New Jersey this evening?
We're doing great.
We're great.
Yeah, greetings from down under.
Happy to be here.
I gotta say, I've been absolutely loving what Boy Blue has actually been bringing to the table for punk rock. I'm loving what you guys are doing for the community. So thank you so much for a bit of your time here this evening. It's such an honor to speak with you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. We're happy to be here.
But I know you're a very busy individual, so of course I'm not going to take you away from your evening too long. But I got to take you back to the very beginning of this band, and I have to ask, like, what is the story actually behind it, like the origin story? How did you guys all meet and actually come together to form Boy Blue?
So
you should take this one.
For sure. So I think like most bands that have existed for like 15 years, it's more of an amalgamation of people that have grown over time as opposed to just like the same group. There's two founding members that weren't available tonight, and I used to follow them in high school. And then eventually they were like, hey, we need a bassist. It comes along college, whatever. So maybe 7 years into their tenure, I joined the band, and one of their brothers joins the band. And then about a year ago, Ileana here joined. Oh, I'm Anthony. This is Ileana, by the way. About a year ago, Ileana joined as a second vocalist. And then we also got our drummer about 6 months ago. So it's one of those Frankenstein things. But every time, and like I've been there watching them grow since the start. Every time it's changed, it's been for the better. So hopefully, if it does in the future, that tradition keeps going.
And I actually did not know that this band was actually going on for that long. And so I have to ask, like, how does it feel to actually, be following these guys, be a fan of them in high school, and then actually, growing up to actually be a part of a band you were a fan of? Because I got to admit, I dreamed as a kid to be a member of some of my favorite bands. I got to interview some of them, but never had the opportunity to be in them. So it must be a surreal feeling when they actually recruited you and offered you the invite to actually join such a prestigious New Jersey-based band.
It's bizarre for sure. Like in high school, they were like undoubtedly one of my favorite bands. I knew the word. It wasn't like, oh, my friends are in a band. Maybe I'll go see them tonight. It was like they were doing crazy stuff that nobody. And like even today, like my nieces and nephews are in high school. I'm like, oh, is anybody playing like music? And they're like, not really. And I'm like, maybe we lived through like the end of like it was like 2010 to 2014. There was like a really special era where like that live stuff was. And I think it's happening again, maybe. But
well, that's how it was for me. Like he was telling me, like in high school, he would watch their name at the time. There was a name change actually. It was Two Step with Marlon Brando, and then it changed to Boy Blue, what it is now. But he's like, you guys didn't have like local shows and bands in high school? I was like, no, I guess I missed that.
Yeah, it was like zany American Pie type antics. So to go from that,
yeah,
be invited into it, there's no way that I would ever turn that down.
Man, when I was in high school, there were so many bands just in one tiny high school. I mean, all of them, I don't even think any of them actually really made it or did anything big after high school, but everybody was in a band. I mean, I personally knew I couldn't sing or couldn't play any instruments, so I never attempted it. I just picked up the mixing board and started like mixing music, which I found I was good at that, but there were some people that just shouldn't be in bands when I was in high school, but that's what high school's about. Just experimenting,
Yeah.
I couldn't join a band because I already got bullied enough back then, so I knew if I just tried to sing, I'd just be giving them more ante. So I was like, nah, man, I'll pick up some records.
That's a prerequisite for a lot of people to join a band. It's like, oh, you're getting bullied? Well, there's a group of like other weirdos.
But also as well, March 25th of 2021, you guys actually released a single titled Die Hard 6, Let Me Die Hard. I have to ask, what actually made Boy Blue decide to create a Die Hard Bruce Willis influenced song? And of course, do you have any plans to actually do Die Hard 7 in the foreseeable future?
That's a very great question, actually. Yeah, I think that comes from our guitarist primarily, Joe Moretti. And I didn't even know he planned on like following up the movie with a song of his own spiritual succession. But I've always liked the concept of like mixed media, like follow-ups. Like, oh, I'm gonna write a book and I'm gonna follow it up. The sequel will be a song. I always thought that was a cool idea. So when he suggested that, which I think was partially for like the meme of it, and partially because it like fits really well with I think the tone of the song. I was like super on board. But I think that was before she was in the band, one of her favorite songs. So I'll let you say a few words if you want to.
Oh yeah. I mean, I listened to before I started performing with them and joining the band. I would listen like here and there because we actually were dating, and we met. Not we met. We started hanging out again on the set of one of the music videos. So that's a fun anecdote. But I listened to Die Hard, and that was like one of my favorite songs that I had heard so far. And there's actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, a Die Hard 7
demo
yeah. in like our drive somewhere. I don't know if it will actually come to fruition, but there is a little bit of something. So.
And I have to say as well, personally, it's my favorite song by Boy Blue as well, but I feel like I'm just being biased in a way as well because I'm a huge Bruce Willis and Die Hard's my favorite movie series of all time. So I feel like just the fact it's named Die Hard 6, I'm being biased here, but honestly, the best song you guys ever made because it's Die Hard, man. You can't go wrong with it.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie as an expert?
Honestly, yes, 110% Die Hard is a Christmas movie because at the end of the day, it is not Christmas unless Hans MacGruber is falling off Nakatomi Tower. I don't care what anyone says. People in the comments, you can tell me it's not a Christmas movie. I don't care. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Just because your answer is wrong doesn't mean you're right.
I know. You're in good company here.
I agree. Yeah.
I mean, it's a bloody Christmas movie, but it's a Christmas movie. Not all Christmas movies have to have a huge happy ending. Some people die on Christmas. It's just making it real life. Some people get shot in the head while drinking a can of Coke. Who knows? But no, also, in 2021 as well, aside from Die Hard 6, you actually released the 6-track EP titled Cheats on Kylie Jenner. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us the story behind this EP and, of course, what overall inspired the name of this record.
So, I think this was... I think we realized pretty early on that the days of us, at least for the time being, recording an album, are in the future. Like right now, we're like, okay, let's figure out what our sound is as we are like changing members and like changing where we're recording and like the tone, what we want to make, and the band name and all this other stuff. So I think it was in our best interest to record a bunch of singles, collect them as an EP. So the name was like, I think, and if this validates me in any way, we just finished watching a Bee Gees documentary where they did the same exact thing, where we were like, okay, well, what will get the most attention? That is it. That is the only thing. The songs have no deep connection to one another. They're great singles on their own that we want to put out. So the most important thing for us is how do we get people to see this and what would be like funny or entertaining or clickbaity. And we just took that to the extreme conclusion, which the Bee Gees have also done. So nobody can get mad at me for that.
But I do know with this phenomenal EP as well, you guys also had the opportunity to work alongside a fellow punk rock legend, and that individual is Jarrett, the lead singer of Bowling for Soup. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us the story behind that connection and collaboration, and of course, what was it like just being able to partner up and team up with one of punk rock's greats, with Jarrett of Bowling for Soup?
I guess I don't want to be yap the whole time. So, for me, as like obviously like a childhood fan, before the Phineas and Ferb, before Chuck E. Cheese, I was listening to A Hangover You Don't Deserve. I was there on the front lines. I love Bowling for Soup, and I was just out of college or like just finishing college at the time, and a friend of mine had given me the advice of, oh, you should just apply to 1,000 places. Like eventually one of them will hire you, so just apply to as many as possible. And then I thought, if we just asked 1,000 people to be on one of our like singles, somebody will say yes. Like eventually, like the answer is out there. So somebody's gonna throw us a bone. So I made a list of like 1,000 celeb. Beyonce's on there, Taylor Swift is on there, everybody's on there. I think we asked a total of 2 people, and one of them never got back to us. And Jarrett said yes. So the rest was history. And like for it to be like, oh, again, like a lot of people on the list were just like, all right, who's a famous person? Like I think Danny DeVito was on the list. Just to get like, again, like somebody that like maybe has a little bit more pull than us where we can share our music and get it to people. And for it to be somebody that's in our like genre that we really respect, that is like incredibly talented, and is having like in my opinion, like career highs currently right now. it's super exciting. I'm like so grateful for that. It is the highlight of being in the band, and I'm glad that my harebrained scheme paid off. So there you go.
I gotta say, Jarrett. It doesn't surprise me that Jarrett actually said yes to you guys, because I had the opportunity to interview Jarrett, and honestly, one of the nicest celebrities I personally have ever interviewed. I interviewed a lot of them, but I have to say, Jarrett. Jarrett was actually sick with a. I think he had like was this coming over the coming out of the flu, sorry, and he was also on vacation in Los Angeles with his family, and he actually took an hour out of his time to go in another room and do the interview. Well, he was still sick and on vacation, and I said to him before we even went live, I was like, dude, you do know we can like reschedule this, it's fine, right? He goes, nope, I'm already here, we scheduled it, let's do it. And I was like, wow, like, not only are you giving me your time out of your family, but you're also sick. So immediately right there, I was like, man, this is one hell of a super cool guy.
The first time I saw Bowling for Soup was at a benefit concert at a college in New Jersey. So I'm not surprised that he's as kind as the vibes give off, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he actually was playing out here in Ottawa not too long ago, and I literally totally missed the opportunity to go. I knew about it, and then I literally remembered the concert the day after it happened. I was like, fuck, that sucks. But also, June 21st of 2024, so jumping ahead in the timeline a little bit, you guys also released your most recent single, actually titled Sage Green. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us a bit more about your most recent single, and of course, is this actually a first single off an up-and-coming album?
Right now, I don't think it is going to be on an album. Right now, we have about 2 other songs that we're going to release after, sometime around like October-ish. The first one's coming out. And this one's different because I'm actually on this song. I'm doing harmonies. And Anthony directed the music video and filmed the music video. So you want to talk about that?
Oh, yeah, that was a whole... I think we have a 3-song... I don't even know if it's an EP. I think these are just singles at this point. Because, again, we just got our drummer. We have a new singer as of a year ago. So a lot of these were written already. So we're saying, how can we make these parts make sense? Sage Green, I think, was the first release with you on it at all. And now that she's part of the writing process, I think... And we probably have more demos now than we have had ever. So this is definitely a taste of what more music will be like to come. But I think that this was really just like us, again, like perpetually finding that new sound and saying like, okay, well, we have the tools in front of us. Here's the way things are well after, now that like the COVID dust has settled and like shows are happening again and like bands entirely have broken up. So like people are available or people have changed their jobs or everything, you know, the sand is settling. Here's the tools we have. Here's what we could have created in that time. And hopefully that's a harbinger of what's to come, you know?
And I gotta say as well, this single is absolutely phenomenal. I definitely love your harmonies in it. It's definitely a new boy blues sound, in my honest opinion, but it's a great new boy blues sound. I'm really excited to see and hear what actually comes next from you guys, because I gotta say, Sage Green is definitely where it's at.
Thank you.
Good to hear, yeah. It's good when the new stuff is sounding better than the old stuff. I think that's sometimes I'll write a demo and I'm like, okay, this is not, you know, this one's not going out.
But also as well, aside from the music, just the tracks and albums for a minute, July 7th, 2024, Boy Blue was actually awarded Best Jersey Music Video at the Jersey Shore Film Festival. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about that extraordinary event, and of course, what was it like just being there in that atmosphere and being presented such a prestigious award by your state of New Jersey?
So yeah, we went to the pre-release. What was the first event called?
The gala?
We went to the opening night gala. There are a few other. I mean, like, I guess to take a step back, everybody else there is not doing music videos, right? There's like one music video section, and then it's short film people who are like
documentary films,
yeah,
feature length films, short films, all that.
And like there's like different media formats. Some of it's like most of it's live action. A lot of it is animated. So for us to be there, we are like outclassed in the best way possible. Where I can steal ideas from like, okay, this is what like real people are doing. Here's how they're showing up to these events. First of all, like here's what they're talking about. Here's what's important to them. Here's what they want to showcase. Here's how long their projects take. What their budgets are. And the planning aspect, this is all like a whole side thing, right? This all comes down to like I like the music that we're making and I want to share it with the world. And the best way to do that right now is like with some kind of video format. And I bought my first DSLR camera after joining the band, and everything that we learned all together. It's like it takes a village. Chris Ortiz, our singer, does like incredible work for the music videos, particularly. And he's working on one right now for our next single. So yeah, it takes a village to put one of these out. It's a lot of work, and when you see the amount of work other people are putting into it, like the big dogs, you're like, oh, okay, you can work a little bit smarter. It's incredibly grateful to be awarded that. I think we definitely earned it. It took a lot of work, but I'm glad that we got something to show for it.
And I gotta say, I would definitely agree with you. It is most definitely well deserved, and congratulations to both of you, and of course the rest of Boy Blue as well. I can definitely say there's many, many, many more awards to come as well.
That's the plan. Yeah. Yeah, that's the next. The next one will be. We're writing our speeches now.
And also, September 22nd, you guys will actually be taking the stage at the De Bonaire Music Hall out there in New Jersey. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about this up-and-coming show, and of course, where can we actually snag ourselves some tickets if they are indeed still on sale and available?
They are still on sale. They're $10. We have a link on our Instagram. Our Instagram is boybluenj.
Yep.
You can find it in our link in our bio. It's $10. We have a great lineup with other friends.
Morning
Melissa,
Coffee.
Cherie,
Yep.
Meadowwood Lane, and Morning Coffee are all going to be there. And it's at Debonair Music Hall in Teaneck, New Jersey. And you could still snag tickets at the link in our bio.
And I gotta say, $10 for a punk rock show, you can't go wrong with that. Like, I mean, that's cheaper than a pizza nowadays. That's honestly cheaper than like 2 bags of Doritos at a gas station. I mean, so I don't know what y'all are doing that night of September 22nd. But if you're out there in the area of New Jersey, you know what I mean. Just throw $10, support a great band, and go out and listen to some punk rock. I mean, if I could, I would. I mean, $10 is $10.
Well, you're welcome to take the next flight to Jersey if you want. So.
I will admit, I definitely am tempted because I am long overdue for a vacation, but unfortunately, I believe if I jump to New Jersey, I'll probably fail college.
Oh no!
I would probably get I would be I would fall behind in my studies, unfortunately. But trust me, a vacation is long overdue when I graduate in April. So when that comes, I'm definitely jumping on a plane and just going to anywhere but here.
Well, good luck. Congratulations.
Congrats in advance.
I appreciate that. But I have to ask, what is next for Boy Blue? Honestly, you got this amazing concert coming up September 22nd. Right, obviously, your most recent single that came out in June, Sage Green, you guys are currently still promoting it. But aside from all that, like, what is next for Boy Blue? Like, is there anything we happen to miss during this evening's interview? Anything else you both still want to touch on, talk about, or promote? We still got you here live on the Canadian airwaves tonight.
Well, thank you again for having us on those Canadian airwaves. We definitely have... I don't want to be there's big things coming, but this is, I think, the most momentum we've had in a while. We have, I think we can say the name of the next single.
Yeah, it's called I Heard.
Yeah, so we have a song called I Heard coming out this fall. We are in the process. We finished filming parts of the music video. There's more to be done, but we have a whole release plan ready for that. There's a few shows in the works as well, but I think the real meat and potatoes is going to be coming in the new year. I think there's a lot of stuff to look out for then. So definitely in the meantime, to hold people over, I Heard is coming out in the fall. And then also, if you haven't heard from us in like 2 months, check back in February and you'll probably see something big happen.
But also, when this song does come out in the fall, make sure you make a note, shoot me the MP3 file, shoot me the artwork, and I will actually place it into the radio station's rotation here in Canada the moment it releases. Right at 12:01, I will make sure it's playing here in Canada, so you have immediate airplay on your new release single. So you send it, I'll spin it when it comes out in the fall.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
But also, before we actually part ways here tonight, obviously I know how to follow you guys on social media because that's where we actually got connected to coordinate and set up this interview. But for the individuals here in Canada that might just be discovering New Jersey's finest here tonight, how do we go about following Boy Blue across all social media platforms? That way we can stay updated on everything you guys currently got going on, and of course, that brand new single that's coming out in the fall.
I believe our Instagram is boybluenj. I believe our TikTok is also that.
Yep.
Facebook, boybluenj. YouTube, all streaming services.
The more we
will
go,
be yeah.
Yeah, so we're Boy Blue on Spotify. It's a picture of us and not a bunch of flowers. They accidentally gave me control of somebody else's Boy Blue, so I made it flowers like 7 years ago. And I was like, wait, that's the wrong band. And then they just never changed it back. So it's the other one, not that Boy Blue. And then everywhere else, BOYBLUENJ.
Well, hey, at least they didn't change the flowers, because now you can. It's pretty much easy for you guys to kind of divert your fans to elsewhere. Be like, if you see flowers, you've gone too far. Go to the next one.
Yeah.
After this, I'm going to change it to a big red X, just so people are sure.
But no, I gotta say, first and foremost, thank you both for giving not only myself, but a little bit of your, the radio station airways, a little bit of your time, and of course representing the rest of the band of Boy Blue. It was such an honor speaking with you both. Hopefully down the line we can make this happen again sometime soon. But September 22nd, definitely tear the roof off that venue. I know you guys will have no other way. You guys will definitely be doing that. But for now, guys, thank you so much for your time again, and hopefully down the line we can make this happen again sometime soon. But for now, have yourselves a phenomenal night and a great week as well.
You as well. Thank you so much for having us.
Too. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
You're most certainly welcome. Have a great night.
Peace.